Last week, I explained a budget item that you will see in your upcoming annual reports. That was PWS&D, Presbyterian World Service and Development. There's another line in the budget which might be equally perplexing, especially if you are new to the Presbyterian Church. That is Presbyterians sharing. I know that sounds like the sharing ministry, which we are a member of, but it is different. Whereas PWS&D supports the ministry and aid done globally through global partners, Presbyterians sharing is the ministry that we do ourselves as the Presbyterian Church in Canada. Presbyterian sharing funds the work that we do as a denomination, and that includes a wide range of ministries. It funds, for example, our theological colleges. It helps provide the worship liturgies that we're using weekly. It funds youth events like Uplift. It funds new church developments and congregational renewal. It funds Indigenous ministries and our work towards healing and reconciliation. It even does practical things like providing experts from the national church that will guide us through, say, legal issues, for example. Within the bounds of our own presbytery, there are two major ministries funded by Presbyterians sharing. The first is Edmonton Urban Native Ministry, otherwise known as UNIM. It operates out of St. Andrew's Presbyterian on 118th Ave, one of our sharing ministry churches, and it's administered through the Korean Presbytery. UNIM provides lunches to the community, but more importantly, it is a community for those who are otherwise vulnerable. There they can rest from the cold, check their email, have a coffee, and a laugh. The second ministry in our presbytery, funded through Presbyterian sharing, is us. The sharing ministry is being supported from several sources, and one of them is a grant through our synod. Now, those funds come through Presbyterian sharing. We have all benefited so much by being part of a denomination that helps each other. By sharing, we lift one another up and we give other congregations the encouragement that they need. How much should we be giving to support this work? Well, the recommended amount is a tithe. So if we can, we're encouraged to respond faithfully with 10% of the congregation's revenue. Now, that's not always possible. So the church doesn't make it a requirement. Instead, we are asked to discuss it at our congregational meeting and determine each year how much we can provide to help our fellow churches. So when you see that number in the budget for Presbyterian sharing, don't skim over it, but take a second to pray and reflect. Give thanks for the ways that we have benefited from it, and let's respond in thanks by giving to support it. Now here's a little video that highlights some of the ministry done through Presbyterian sharing.
In ministry together through Presbyterian sharing. Gifts to Presbyterian sharing provide the foundation for the mission and ministry we do together as the Presbyterian Church in Canada. With a budget and plans passed each year at the General Assembly, congregations, individuals, committees, working groups, international and Canadian partners work together to carry out God's mission. For every $100 given, $65 equips ministries in Canada, $14 supports international mission partners, and $12 funds ministries with Indigenous peoples. Together we produce educational resources and events, support governance, maintain archives, and provide grants for mission and ministry. We share experiences, advocate governments and corporations, spend time in prayer and theological reflection, and support vulnerable people. Together we help congregations navigate challenging times and equip leaders to serve. We speak for those who have been marginalized, fight racism, and provide space for Indigenous and non-Indigenous people to pursue healing and reconciliation. Together, we are building a church where all are welcome. This is possible with your generosity. When we put our gifts into God's hands, God does remarkable things.